and welcome. Today we're starting a new adventure in Manor Lords, and I'll be showing you a best start strategy that you can apply in most games, around 90% of the time. The first and most important thing when starting a new scenario is to assess the available resources in your region and plan how to use them efficiently. In my example today, I'm lucky to have two rich deposits, one of iron and one of wild animals. On top of that, I also have a small lake full of fish, which will be a crucial source of food for my settlers. Food is essential to keeping your population happy and safe. You definitely don't want to be caught in winter without enough food, so having a solid plan from the start is key. Because of the rich deposits, I'm planning to spend my development points on hunting, deep mining, and advanced pond keeping, which will give me access to fish even in winter. I recommend building a barn and granary as soon as possible to ensure that your initial resources are managed properly and protected from the weather changes. Started by setting up a logging camp, followed by the construction of essential storage buildings, along with a well and space for a market, because, of course, my people need water. And don't forget, you good-looking folks, drink water, at least 3 liters a day. Moving on from that. Since resources and the number of people are quite limited at the start, you really need to prioritize everything. For example, as soon as the logging camp is ready, I assign a family to work there, ensuring a steady supply of wood for the rest of the constructions. If you can also get a second ox at the same time, that would be ideal. It will greatly speed up the construction process and help everything come together much more quickly, so don't be stingy with those 20 coins. If I remember correctly, when you create double burgage plots, even if you have 2 families living there, the consumption of food and firewood will remain the same as for a single family plot. So, I'll aim to build around 90% of my houses using this system. I'll try to reserve the remaining 10% for artisans, though I'm not sure if I'll manage to stick to that plan, probably going to forget, but bear with me. For maximum efficiency at the logging camp, you can allocate livestock, and that ox will be dedicated exclusively to transporting wood there. This is the first time I've had a fishing pond in the region where I'm building. Like other resources, they are randomly distributed across the map. Ideally, you should set a limit for how much fish can be caught to prevent overfishing. The fish population in the pond regenerates annually, but you need that limit to ensure you don't run out of fish, just like with wild animals. Right now, my plan is to build the town very close to that iron deposit, as I feel it will play an important role in my economy in the mid to late game. For now, I'll need just 5 houses for the 5 families in my small settlement to combat the negative approval caused by homelessness. Depending on how many logs I have, I'll likely build 3 double burgage plots, or maybe even 5. However, I need to be careful not to overbuild, as a larger population without enough resources could lead to problems like hunger, cold, and unhappiness, all of which can eventually result in population migration. The houses are now queued for construction, so in the meantime, I can plan my next steps. I'll need stone soon to upgrade the storage buildings. Initially, the storage capacity is 500, but after the upgrade, it increases 5-fold to 2,500, which will be more than enough for my small village. Another important thing will be building a church, but before that, the best decision is to exploit the rich deposit of wild animals for meat and hides. This will add variety to the market and finally allow me to hit the accelerator on development. In doing all this, I almost forgot about firewood. Luckily, it's still June, so by winter, I should be done with the current constructions and can then focus on stocking up fuel with a woodcutter camp for the colder months. During winter, the consumption will be 2 units for each burgage plot I have. I'm still far from finishing the houses. With only one family working on all these projects, it's a slow process. So, I'm forced to figure out where I can get more workers. The best option is to temporarily reassign those working at the logging camp, at least for a while, until I make some progress with the construction. Much better already, I'm starting to see some improvements. Now I have a small idea to set up a few houses that will produce veggies. The timing couldn't be more perfect. Just as I was imagining how I want the new burgage plots for vegetables to look, I received my first development point, which I'll be using on pond keeping. For those who don't know, this upgrade doubles the maximum fish population in your region, plus it gives you the ability to fish even during winter. This is huge. As long as the fish population doesn't reach my limit of 130 units, the workers can provide food throughout the entire year. Things are starting to come together. The approval rating is at 51%. It seems I still have some bread from the initial resources, but I have a significant reserve of over 125 units of fish, which could last me at least 15 months. The downside is that I have 4 months of fuel, which I hope to deal with quickly, even though it's not urgent. However, as soon as I have new residents in the village, I'll need to assign someone to the hunting camp to maintain that positive approval rating. You probably noticed that I have 30 coins in regional wealth. I've saved the money specifically for vegetable farms. In Manor Lords, food variety is very important in the mid to late game. As you progress to the next level of burgage plots, the requirements increase, and at level 3, residents become more demanding for all sorts of products: food, clothing, fuel, and of course, ale. No one can survive without ale. I'm going to take a break from building and just supervise the progress. Since it's already September, I'll allocate the unemployed workers and simply wait for the new residents of the village to arrive. Let's talk a bit about the army. In this patch, we have crossbowman units, which I'm personally a fan of. I don't see the need for more than 2 units of crossbowmen, followed by 4 units of spearmen, which creates a solid front line. Once I build the manor, I'll also add a retinue unit, bringing my total to 7 units in this region, which I'll name it the Motherland. I have complete confidence in these troops. Once they're ready, I'm certain I'll be able to easily take down the Baron's army when the time comes. For a consistent and substantial production of vegetables, I suggest creating double plots and ensuring you have a good-sized field. Most importantly, keep the residents unemployed. This way, they'll have ample time to care for their gardens and bring any surplus food to the granary. If you can be a little patient, we'll get there and you'll see exactly what I mean. The same strategy works for apple orchards as well. So next time you find yourself struggling, remember this. It's time to focus on replanting trees while also producing planks. Planks are essential, especially in my region, and I'll need a well-developed industry. Over time, I'll probably aim for around 3 or 4 logging sites to ensure a steady supply of wood. Having several families in the village already allows me to allocate people to work on nearly 90% of all the constructions I have. Now, the tannery is a key area I need to focus on to ensure I have leather available in the market.
Come one, come all, feast your eyes on all. Your orders.
In the game, you have the option to gain regional wealth from bandit camps right from the start. All you need are just 3 things: 5 soldiers, a bandit camp, and some barons units to do the fighting for you. Doing this requires perfect timing. If the bandit camp is near your region, even better, you won't have as far to travel. Basically, follow the Baron's army and position your units near the bandit camp. Don't get too close, or the bandits will attack your soldiers. Wait until the Baron's army engages with the bandits, and once they're fighting, you can just walk into the camp and loot it. Now you just have to decide what to do with the money. Personally, I'm going to choose to send it to the town. This will help me develop the burgage plots a bit, maybe add some chickens, pigs, goats, or even open up a trade route.
Summer's coming soon, and soon the
I'm preparing the area in advance for the iron mines, houses for the workers, a bloomer, and another storage facility. Even though I'm not going to start the mining right away, I like to have the area ready so I don't accidentally build something else there. I just place the constructions and pause the projects until the right time comes. I still have two important things to take care of before I start working on iron. First are the vegetables. I want to have 2 or 3 farms with families providing another food source for my settlement. Second, I need at least 1 more logging camp and a saw pit. Right now, I'm really struggling with the wood, and it's getting a bit annoying. Most of the time, I prefer to manually assign workers. It really helps streamline things. You just go to the house from which you want to hire a family, select the family, and then assign them to the desired workplace. By doing this, I don't disrupt the order, and I can keep the families I want unemployed. I really thank you for watching this video, and if you stayed this long, please leave a comment with your thoughts. See you guys in the next one.